I never believed in ghosts. Not demons, not spirits, not any of those things people claim exist in the dark. But after what happened to me 3 years ago in rural Montana, I stopped laughing at those stories. My name is Daniel, and I work as a truck driver in the United States. Most of my routes take me through long empty highways in the middle of nowhere, endless forests, abandoned gas stations, and towns so small they barely appear on a map. But one night, something happened that I still can't explain. It was late October. Cold wind howled across the empty highway as I drove through a remote stretch of Montana around midnight. My GPS signal had already dropped, and the road ahead looked like it disappeared into complete darkness. After driving for nearly 6 hours straight, I decided to stop at a small roadside motel I found near an old gas station. The place looked drunk. The motel sign flickered weakly, and half the letters were missing. It probably hadn't been repaired in years. Still, I was too tired to keep driving. Inside the office, an old man sat behind the counter watching a small TV. He looked at me slowly when I walked in, not in a normal way. More like he was studying me. "You staying the night?" he asked. His voice sounded dry, almost nervous. "Yeah," I said, "just need a room." He hesitated. Then he handed me a key. "Room to a glass." Before I walked away, he suddenly added something strange. "If you hear knocking tonight." I stopped. "What?" He looked directly into my eyes. "Don't open the door." I laughed. I thought he was joking. I wish I hadn't. The motel room smelled old and dusty. The carpet felt damp, and the yellow light above the bed flickered every few seconds. I locked the door, dropped my bag, and laid down on the bed. Within minutes, I was asleep, but something woke me up later that night. Knocking soft at first. Knock, knock. My eyes opened slowly. The digital clock beside the bed read 3:17 a.m. Another knock, knock, knock. I sat up. My first thought was that maybe another guest had the wrong room, so I walked toward the door. But just as I reached for the handle, I remembered what the old man said. "If you hear K, don't open the door knocking tonight." I hesitated. Then a voice spoke from the other side. A woman's voice. Soft, cold. "Please, help me." I froze. The voice sounded weak, like someone injured. "Please, open the door." Something felt wrong. Very wrong. I stepped closer to the door but didn't unlock it. "Who are you?" I asked. There was a pause. Then she answered, "I'm lost." Her voice trembled. "Please." "It's freezing outside." My hand slowly reached toward the lock, but then something strange happened. I looked down. There was a small gap under the door. Enough space to see shadows, and what I saw made my blood run cold. There were 2 shadows outside the door, not 1, 2. But I had only heard one voice. My heart started pounding. I stepped back slowly. "There's someone else with you," I said. Silence. Then the voice changed. Completely. It became deeper, angrier. "Open the door." The knocking started again, but this time it wasn't normal. It was violent. Bang, bang, bang. The entire door shook. "Open the door." The voice was no longer human. It sounded distorted, like multiple voices speaking together. I grabbed the motel phone and tried calling the front desk, but the line was dead. Outside, the banging grew louder. Bang, bang, bang. Then suddenly, it stopped. Complete silence. I stood there breathing heavily. Minutes passed. Nothing. Finally, I gathered the courage to look through the peephole. The hallway was empty. No one was there. I barely slept the rest of the night. At sunrise, I packed my things and went straight to the front office. The old man looked up when I walked in. He already knew. "You heard it," he said quietly. I nodded. "What was that?" I asked. He sighed. Then he told me something that still haunts me. 3 years before that night, a woman had been murdered in room 12. But she wasn't alone. Police found 2 bodies outside the door. The woman and something else they couldn't identify. I felt a chill run down my spine. Then I asked the question that still bothers me. "If you knew that, why did you give me that room?" The old man stared at me for a long moment. Then he said something I will never forget, because it doesn't knock every night. He leaned forward slowly, and when it does, his voice dropped to a whisper. "It needs someone inside." I left that motel immediately. But even now, sometimes I wake up at exactly 3:17 a.m. and I swear, I hear knocking.